else around. Every time we get a camera out, somebody turns up. So, hey up YouTubers, how are we? Welcome back to the channel. Well, we're outside today and it's bloody cold. Today, a lot of people have been asking what's it like to live with a CCM Spitfire. So I thought today we're going to do a video of what it is like to live with a CCM Spitfire. If you fancy a bit of that, stick around, stay tuned. So, there she is in all her glory. What is it like riding and owning a CCM Spitfire? Well, I'm not going to do all this out here because it's too cold. So I'm going to do a bit of a view around the bike, and then we're going to go through some stuff of what it's like to ride, what things I like about it, and some things I don't like about it. So, back inside now, it's a little bit warmer. So what's it like to ride and to own a CCM Spitfire? Well, for those people out there that don't know what a CCM Spitfire is, or where it came from, I've done a little bit of history, I think. The CCM Spitfire is the brainchild of the CCM division, the Skunk Works. The CCM Spitfire was launched in 2017 and it was designed by the guys and girls who work in the CCM factory. I think they did it round about a dinner time. They all got around the table and said what we're going to do, because I think the CCM business was not doing very well and it needed to rebrand. So they came up with the CCM Spitfire. I think they got asked the question was, if you could design a motorcycle, what would it look like? And it looked like one of them. 150 made in the beginning, sold out in the first week. I own number 35 out of 150. So a lot of people don't really know the specs on it. I haven't really looked at it. So the specs are, it's a 600 single cylinder Husqvarna engine. 4 valves, liquid cooled. It's got a tubular steel trellis chassis, TIG welded by hand. The seat height is 855 millimeters. The weight of the bike is 142 kilos. The front forks are fully adjustable, 43 mil. The rear shock is fully adjustable. It's got 320 millimeter front disc and a 240 millimeter rear disc. So that's just a little bit of spec about the CCM Spitfire. What's it like owning one? Well, I've had mine nearly a year. I didn't buy it new. I bought it second hand. It had just over 1,000 miles on it, so it had its first service already done. I've rode it, I think last year I probably done about 500-600 miles on it. I think, I don't know exactly. I don't really pay much attention to the clock and to see how many miles I've done. Average fuel, won't have a clue. I just fill it up, go out, come back, and if it's empty, I fill it up again. Not really bothered about that. It's my Sunday bike. If you'd have seen previous videos before, I've got a CX500 Cafe Racer. Well, I've sold that now. The CX was basically going to be a Sunday bike to go out for a little bit of a ride on, have a nice coffee somewhere up the lakes, and come home again. But now I've got the CCM Spitfire. Why did I buy a CCM Spitfire? Well, as soon as they came out, I've always fancied them. We were in the Isle of Man not last year, year before now, even though it's only seems last year, 2018, and in the Jura Motorcycle Museum. They had one there, and first time I've seen one in the flesh, and ever since then I've looked and looked and looked everywhere for one. One came up local and I bought it. Not the cheapest bike in the world. I was in the market for another Ducati Hypermotard, an S version. If anybody has one for sale, give me a shout. I am still after one. Completely standard though, but I couldn't find one at the time, and this CCM Spitfire came up local. It was over in Morecambe, and I went to have a look at it and bought it. What's it like to live with? A lot of people out there probably haven't ridden a single cylinder motorcycle, so it takes a little bit of getting used to. I've had single cylinder motorbikes. I've had DR600s, KLX 650s and things like that. So it just takes a little bit of getting used to, does a single cylinder. All bottom end grunt, pulling every gear, and just takes a little bit of, you know, tender loving care, does a single cylinder. They don't like to be blipped. You come up to, even though the nice sound of it, they don't like to be blipped because the single cylinder, it just takes too much energy to do that. So when you're rolling into to stop, the easiest thing is just to pull the clutch in, don't blip it. It just doesn't like it. They end up stalling. The engine itself can be a bit of a pig when it's cold. You get 100 yards up the road, it'll just die. but I think that's due to when I first had it, when I used to blip the throttle. What do I like about it? Well, look at that picture. Look at the bike. I don't know. It's just a piece of artwork. Everywhere you ride it, people stop and stare. People ask me what it is. I stand at traffic lights and the car next to me goes thumbs up and goes, bike. It's just lovely. It's just an awesome looking bike. It rides well. It goes around corners. It goes up and down hills. People say it has a vibration in the seat. Well, it does, but that's only about 70 mile an hour. It's not really for, it's a B-road blaster really, isn't it, the CCM? Great for where I live, up the Lake District. Absolutely brilliant thing. What do I like about it? Well, the way it looks is one of them. The seating position is great. It's a comfortable bike. Big foot pegs. The front end needed a bit of setting up, so did the rear, the suspension, but I did a video about that if you want to know about that. There's a link up there. The handlebars needed a little bit of setting up. I used to get a little bit of a problem on my throttle, but once the ergonomics was set up on the motorbike, everything was fine. I like the bottom end grunt. I like the power it has. Yeah, okay, it doesn't do 150 mile an hour, but who cares? You don't need it to do. It starts and stops well. Possibly what I would like to see in it is probably twin discs on the front. Would have been nice. The single disc on the front, it does stop well, but it's a double one would have just made it just that little bit better. The rear's fine. So when the bike's only 142 kilogram and it's pumping out about 55 brake horse, it's enough. It pulls like a train. It'll pull in any gear. Like I said, that it does have a tendency to stall, but that's I think due to blipping, because being a single cylinder, it can't get enough fuel through, and it just sort of does that every now and again. So it's just a little bit of a learning curve is riding a single cylinder. What don't I like about it? One of the things that really annoy me about it is that front mud guard. So there's a picture there of the front mud guard. It doesn't come all the way up. What else could you do with that front mud guard? If you did something else with it, it would take away the looks, which you can't really. But what happens is, when you're riding along and you run through some water, the water sprays up, forces it forward, and then you drive into it. So then you end up with dirt, a single band of dirt, all the way if you go out in the wet. Just there on the video, you can just see on the handlebars and on the clocks, the dirt, but that's everything sprayed up from the front wheel. So that's one of the things I don't really like about it. But what else could you do with it? You put a front hugger on it or a longer mud guard, it wouldn't look as good. I don't know. Anybody knows? Comment down below. What does it do to the gallon? I have no idea. I just ride it, and I fill it up when it's empty, and I ride it when it's full. What else don't I like about it? There is something else I don't like about it. Because it doesn't have a back seat, I'm used to my GS, I've got panniers, I've got tank bags, I've got all sorts of different things. There's nowhere to put anything. If it had a back seat, you could probably put one of those bags on it that run over the top. So you end up stuffing everything in your pockets. It doesn't have much place for storage. I know you can get side panniers and things like that, but if you've seen the price of them, come on. What I do have now is this bag. It's one that goes over your shoulder, and I think I bought it from, I got it from Amazon. I think it came. I don't know where I got it from. Great for carrying my camera equipment, bottle of water, etc. And I've started using that on it. So that's the other thing I don't really like. But there's nothing really much you can do with that. If you want to go a little bit further, 150 miles, something like that, you need to be, carrying something, don't you? And then me with me cameras and everything. Are they well made? Yeah, they're well made. Nothing's fallen off, nothing's come off. I haven't had any problems with it. I think some people are having odd bits of problems regarding the decompression valve, but that's just one of those things. Maintenance, I think a lot of people out there are scared of maintenance with it. It's only a Husqvarna 630 TE engine. We're going to be doing, hopefully in the next few weeks, we're going to be doing an oil change on the CCM. I have the oil filter already. I'm just waiting for me ABBA Skylift to turn up. Hopefully that'll be in a couple of weeks' time. And we're going to do an oil change on the CCM and show you how dead easy it is, because mine's out of warranty now. So it's only a Husqvarna engine. It's nothing special. So I'm going to maintain it myself. And I'm going to change the oil out of it. So I'm going to do it every year. I've found a company that does the correct oil, and the oil filter is only £8.50. So for around about £20, we can change the oil on the CCM Spitfire. Are they value for money? What is value for money? nowadays. Everything seems to be expensive. I remember the days not so long ago when people were saying £10,000 for a sports bike, and they're over 20 now. Individuality, there's not many of them around. The first 150 of them were, I think, were sold for a bit of a fashion icon, not really road. Every bike I see at the moment has only got not very miles on it. I think people buy them and expect them to run like an inline 4, you know, they've had a inline 4 Honda engine, and they're not anything like that at all, are they? Their individuality, everybody loves them. So yeah, nothing much really to dislike about it. I think apart from the price, but that's just one of those things, as they say, you can't take it with you. Loads to like about it. It's a great thing to ride. Every time you ride it, it just puts a smile on your face. So yeah, nothing much really to dislike about it. Tyres prices, I don't know. I've not put a new tyre on it. I don't think they're that expensive. One of the things that did worry me before I bought it with a big front tyre, does it go around corners? But yeah, it does go around corners. I would say it goes around corners as good as my Hypermotard. And when you get that single cylinder revving, it doesn't have to get on in these B roads. So you can ride it. It's not a bike just to look at. You can get out there and really ride it and give it a good thrashing. The Husqvarna engine's bomb-proof. It looks awesome and it just sounds awesome. Would you like to hear what it sounds like? Well, here's the video. She does sound well, doesn't she? So yeah, anybody who's in the market for a CCM Spitfire, I'd recommend anybody to buy one. There is absolutely no hesitation. So yeah, get out and buy one. I bought it, nobody gives it me, but hey CCM, if you want to send me another one, by all means. So as you can see from the video that's either been behind me, next to me, or I've been in the corner, I don't know where I'm going to put this yet because I haven't edited it. It's a good looking bike, isn't it? So YouTubers, hope that was some of use to you. And now you're all going to rush out. Well, you won't better rush out, will you? You better get on the phone, get on the email, get all the CCM, get yourself one bought. There's a few on eBay, there's a few about. If you did like that video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, just stumbled across us again, don't forget, click that subscribe button, ring that bell. Every time I upload a video, you will get a notification. Still, to this day, 86% of you boys and girls that are watching me now are not subscribed to you. So please, go on, subscribe to the channel. Make an old man happy. So we're still in lockdown in the UK. Things aren't really getting better. So as most of you know that have been watching my videos, I did test positive for COVID in December. Still not completely over it yet. I've had 1 week back at work. Not brill, but yeah, don't get COVID. Thanks very much for watching again. Keep safe out there, be safe, look after them people that you like, or love, whichever one. And as they say, we'll see you soon.